Namaste, beloved family of light. I welcome you all to another spiritual video. I'm sure that you have been guided, protected, and blessed with many, many opportunities for growth and with many challenging situations as well for you to experience and to overcome the lessons that you still need to master. So well done. And thank you for being here. I'm sure that this video has found you for many higher reasons. So tonight I would like to discuss about a spiritual topic that concerns many, many of us. So I have noticed that coming to the full moon, all things tend to come to the surface for us to look at them and to work on them so that the same patterns will not repeat themselves again and we can advance to the new lessons. That is so much more exciting. And one of the classic old things coming up very dominantly is the out of balance ego. So, what is the ego again? We know that the ego is the lower self that pretends to know everything, but in fact, it knows nothing. Having developed an ego is part and parcel of the earthly human experience and is perfectly normal. It's normal. At the level of at the lower level of consciousness, the ego saves us from dangers and it helps us with survival instincts. And sometimes it forces us to be in need of control of everything to feel safe and secure. Having the ego a lot of times also tries to help us to block certain things out that our consciousness are not ready to accept it, to receive it, even if it is a divine truth. For example, can you imagine talking about reincarnations, past life hypnoregressions, therapy, or the 12th chakra, or angels healing or crystal healing to a highly devoted Catholic Church member? It might not work. To someone with ego issues, everything must feel comfortable and familiar to feel right. And they are usually afraid of the unknown, if you notice. They get stuck with the old ways of being and they just refuse to open up to listen for once. And that is their truth until they're ready for more. And this is because they're always right, right? And their opinion is always superior to others. And this somewhat fuels the illusions that they are wiser and above everyone else. And I've noticed that they often have emotional storms brewing within them, but they just refuse to face the emotions to learn the lessons behind. Again, it is that ego blocking them. And I'm sure that many of us here have seen this pattern running somewhere in our family or even in our daily 9 to 5 setting. Hmm? Classic. So when we see some of our sisters and brothers around us struggling to balance their ego, let us be reminded to observe with equanimity, without any judgment, and have some compassion and empathy for others, just like we have empathy and compassion for ourselves. And we ourselves can be the example to respond to challenges with grace and wisdom. We help to remind others that there is always a higher and more graceful way of being, more peaceful, more loving as well. And that way, we will remind others that the battle for control, struggling for power, the battle of ego versus ego is simply illusional, especially for us at this level of consciousness. So, all of that, the ego, it serves the purpose for humanity at the third dimensional consciousness. And now Many of us here, we are ready to move beyond the need to build that glamorous identity as an individual. We can see that it is not real anymore. And many of us, have already started transcending that need. And one of the biggest lessons that we come here to learn is to transcend that ego. Transcending the ego does not mean removing the ego completely, but rather moving beyond the needs to inflate that ego, trying to fill up that gap within, but not knowing how and exactly what it is, or rather refusing to see the truth behind it. And usually that person would end up playing out the old patterns. Again, at this stage, we start to see everyone with compassionate eyes. We see from the heart, full of love, peace, and wisdom. We know that we all have our own challenges to learn, to master, and we are all learning. So once you transcend the need to shine brighter, to be better, bigger, taller, or to wear a bigger crown on the head, being able to offer that compassion, understanding, and empathy is a great service that we can do to our world today. That way, our planet will become a lot more peaceful and more cooperative as well. So, here are some of the important pointers that I like to mention that I think will help you to transcend your ego. So, number one, breathe. Breathe consciously through your breaths. You connect directly to source, to your higher self. And through your breaths, you can stay centered in your heart and your higher heart. And these will give you the shortcut to connect with your higher self and even your monad instead of your ego. And number two, remember to learn to look within and accept ourselves as an authentically imperfect being, because we are all here to learn. And it's perfect that being that way, everything is perfect on a soul level. And of course, number three, let's remember to learn to own our own emotion instead of suppressing them or projecting our emotions onto others. It's not very nice doing that. And I'm sure you can relate to that as well. So, own our own emotions, observe our emotions, and master the lessons behind it. Everything comes with its own lesson. So, please remember that. And number four, go within to heal, to forgive and love ourselves unconditionally. Tap into that inner peace within you. All the answers that you seek always lie within yourself. There's no need to seek anything externally. And one of the best ways to balance and transcend our ego is to truly heal and love ourselves first. Because we have to heal ourselves to heal our world as a collective, to prepare for ascensions. So that is the important message that I would like to bring it up tonight. And I hope it resonates with you and with your hearts. I am very proud of all of you for the spiritual challenges that you have overcome and still attempting to overcome. It is all right. Everyone is on their own journey. So have patience. It's okay to feel vulnerable and love yourself unconditionally. And remember that help is always available. So remember to ask. And you can always tune into any spiritual videos of any channels, including mine, and feel that everything is perfect the way it is, and there's no need to rush, and just enjoy the ride because we are all here to learn, including even the angels and the masters. They'll learn in advance through helping us. So remember to ask for help. With that, I would like to end this video here. Much love and angelic blessing to all of you. And as always, love and gratitude. Namaste.